a lot of them said that, I'm in the same boat as you. We can relate to you. I had to actually, it's a good question because if I had never found the XXL tribe and I just went off of the Humans of New York page, I probably would have fallen back into where I was earlier. I would have got on the bike for a couple of weeks, thought I was in a good place, then gotten back to old habits. But nothing with my health would be where I am now without the XXL tribe. It's very inspirational. I had a quote, somebody commented today on one of my posts, we hunted you down so we could inspire you. Now you are inspiring all of us.
It's more than just your output, more than a bike. When you hear your shout out, you know it's all right. Put on your magic pants and let's go. We're cruising into the power zone. Clip in, set yourself free. Come on and take a ride with me. You know what you need to know and what's it all about. Everything you need, it's on the Clip Out.
Welcome to the Clip Out, episode 152. This is Crystal O'Keefe.
And this is Tom O'Keefe. Hi.
Hi.
Well, I don't even know what day of the week it is anymore.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday for us.
Yes. It's Friday for those listening who listen right away.
Yes, if you listen on day one.
Yes.
You get a gold star.
You do get a gold star. We're handing out fewer and fewer gold stars these days. You guys aren't commuting.
Yes, once the commuting stopped, the downloads, I won't say they stopped.
No, not at all. But
you can definitely notice a difference.
Yes, and it tends to even out throughout the week. But it's definitely, I'm not getting 5 a.m. notices when I'm late. I'll put it that way. I used to get emails at 5 a.m. Where's the episode? There's no more of that.
But now you got to be careful because if you're too late in the day, right, you'll get those notices. But now they've been day drinking. So they're going to be a little sassy. A little sassier than they used to be.
Don't get sassy with me. I don't want any sassiness.
Uh-oh. Should I leave?
Nah.
Okay.
You can stay.
I was like, I don't know what to do if I can't be sassy. That's pretty much...
That's your gig.
The only pants I own are sass pants.
They say sassafras.
Yeah.
Across the back.
Across my sassafras. So, enough about my sassafras. Nobody wants to hear about that. What do you have in store for people?
Well, I got to say, with Peloton no longer doing live rides, the news has dropped off considerably.
Yes, it is, which means the way this will probably work out, it'll be one of the weeks where we have like a 30-minute interview.
Yeah. Yeah, so this might be the shortest podcast you've ever had from us.
I don't know, those first couple were pretty brief. By today's standards. Yes. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. We'll see. But we're going to talk about Peloton stock. We're going to talk about some fun stuff going on in the community and some of the things that the instructors are up to and a new collection and a little bit of a tiny little visit from the Peloton Prophet. Awesome. And you know what I was thinking, since this one might be shorter, like earlier episodes, just to harken back to the early days.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it Peloton.
I don't know how many listeners we have from back then.
Yeah, we lost them all. I got so mad.
No, we didn't. I know that we didn't because we have had people tell us that they've listened to every single episode.
That is true.
Now, I don't know if they're still hanging in there because we're 152 in.
Yeah, a little bit of me goes a long way. You can say it. So I guess that's what we have to look forward to. So shameless plugs. Don't forget, we're available on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts and wherever that may be. Be sure and subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can also follow us on Spotify just to have some redundancy.
Right.
In these times of crisis.
Yeah, it's good to have more than one plan of action.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As we've all learned.
Right. So that's
why we now own a bidet.
Right. We own 2 bidets.
I know.
I don't like to share.
Moving on.
I thought one could double as a drinking fountain.
Move on.
You brought it up. So where was I?
Redundancy. Spotify.
Shameless plugs. Speaking of bidets.
Oh.
What? You started it. I want everyone to take note of who started it.
Regrets.
You've had a few, but then again.
Okay.
We're on Facebook, facebook.com/theclipout. While you're there, like the page, join the group, and of course, check out our brand new website. We did get someone that messaged us.
Yes.
Said something very nice.
I got a message today from somebody. They were looking for a guest, and then I told them who the guest was. And then they were like, "Oh, I love your website, by the way. It looks really good, like the white background." So
Well, that was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can check that out at theclipout.com.
2 people out of thousands that listen that checked it out.
And while you're there, you can sign up.
Worth every penny.
I know, right? You can sign up for the newsletter, and you can get all the show notes and links and photos and things like that. They will just come directly to your inbox. You don't have to go hunting for them.
Right.
So there is all of that. I guess let's dig in, shall we?
We shall.
It's time for news of the Peloton.
Peloton stock is just tearing up the joint.
I mean, have you seen it today?
Well, I saw somebody at one point it got to like $35 a share.
$35.61. It closed at almost $37 today.
So we're basically rich now.
Oh, totally.
And so this is the last episode.
So
keep peddling.
We're out. No, for real though, it went up almost 12% today. 11.7%.
Was there something specific that goosed it?
No, but there is a theory, and I
Okay.
think it's a good theory, and I'm going to go ahead and give credit to John Mills because he's the one who said it. I think it's a good theory that the earnings, the official earnings call is in 3 weeks. So on May 5th, I think is what it falls on.
Okay.
And he was saying that it makes you wonder how much is already out there in anticipation of that, what's leaked so far.
Gotcha.
In other words, it's going to be a great report, which we know it's going to be a great report. I mean, we know there's going to be huge growth, right? But we also think this might be the call where really big announcements get made that are coming. Like we think some really big things are at least going to be hinted at timing wise, even if they're not on the call.
Yeah. I mean, you got to figure even without having information leaked, there are some very obvious front-facing metrics like, you know, hey, we used to be able to deliver a bike in 1 to 2 weeks, and now it's going to be a month. And that's not corona-related in terms of they can't make deliveries. It's the demand is so high, you know?
Well, the interesting thing is, though, that if you think about when the date falls, if it's truly May 5th, and I'm trying to find it right now. I'm sorry for my delay. But if it truly falls on May 5th, think about when that is. It's right after homecoming.
What would have been homecoming.
Right. And so if the people on Reddit are correct, that they're going to stream all this stuff over that weekend and be announcing it.
Right.
And we know all that's leaked out there on Reddit, and we don't know whether or not it's true. But I mean, from what I've seen in the past, they're getting that information from an actual Peloton employee.
Right.
And so it seems like it is true. And so it seems like this timing is not crazy that 2 weeks before we're seeing the stock just shoot up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Watch this space.
Yes, definitely.
Have we actually, I don't remember, did we actually talk on the podcast about the Reddit stuff? I don't know that we did.
Did we not?
I don't think we did.
We did. We did. Yeah, we did talk about it. It's just been a few weeks.
Okay.
But as a quick refresher, if you're like, what are you guys talking about? Quick refresher is that a picture of the monitor was leaked. The new one that we've been talking about is coming out, and that it is supposed to go to the rower and the smaller tread. And you can quickly remember that because it's the last 3 letters on this model of the monitor are TTR, and that stands for tiny tread and rower in my head. So that's what it's rumored to be for. It's a joke. And but in all seriousness, the rumor says that we were supposed to be getting this all announced over homecoming, and that they're still going to be streaming these live talks. And as these live talks come out, they're going to be still announcing these things, even if it's not going to be done with the pomp and circumstance that was expected.
Right.
And then there was some other stuff like the social. There's like a new social feature that's going to be
There's hashtags, and you can there'll be a lobby where you can meet and take rides together.
Yes. Yes.
With other people, like on-demand rides together.
I think it was all rides that you could gather in this lobby area and all start at the same time. And as you said, have hashtags so you can find your groups. It's going to be another way that you can find all the people that you ride with easily. That's all coming.
Right.
I mean, that's all rumored to be coming according to the Reddit information.
So we shall see.
We shall. That is not from the Prophet. I just want to say.
Right. Just in case it's not right.
Well, I just think that they actually have an employee leaking this information. And the Prophet is very artsy. You know, the Prophet comes up with what they come up with in a unique and very, what's the word?
They use a divining rod.
Yeah. So it's
tarot cards.
It's not just like somebody feeding information is what I'm trying to say. So it's just from a different source. And I want to make that clear for Peloton, because if they've got a leak, I don't want them looking over here for the leak.
Absolutely.
Look elsewhere.
No. If there's someone leaking, it's typically me. Not getting any younger.
Different kind of leak, babe.
So there was an interesting news story about a Peloton user.
Yeah, which I can't get this to open right now. Sorry. So I don't even remember what it was.
It's the nurse.
There it is. Okay, now I've got a picture. It was just a bunch of gobbledygooks. It said facebook.com story. And I was like, I know that I put this here, but I can't remember what it is. Yes, this is an amazing story about one of our Peloton superheroes, Tammy Lynn. Tammy Lynn works at a hospital right on the front lines, right in the middle of New York City. It's Northwell Health, I believe. And so it's in Long Island, if you don't know where that is. So what she does is she will go in to rooms that people that are affected by COVID, and she will sit with them and stay with them and pass along messages from their loved ones, because they can't be there with their loved ones while they're sick. And it's people like this that keep the world going in times of crisis. So we need to send our love and support not only to Tammy, although she certainly deserves it, but everyone in the medical community that is out there working their tushies off every day, exhausted. And thank you. Thank you sincerely from the bottom of our hearts for everything you are doing.
And if you want to see the news story we're talking about, you can find it at our Facebook page, facebook.com/theclipout, or sign up for the newsletter at theclipout.com, and you will get a link sent directly to you on Sunday.
You will.
And then in Philadelphia, there was an interesting story about a local, to them, triathlete. Did I say that right?
You did.
Say that right?
You did.
Okay. And he also, I guess, designs apps.
Yeah. So I think he has his own app.
Yeah. It's called This App Saves Lives.
Yes. And I don't know much about the actual app. I didn't.
So what it does is you download it, and I guess it can tell when you're driving.
Oh.
And then it rewards you with various vendors they've partnered with for basically not interacting with your phone while you're driving.
Interesting.
And then you earn points, and then you can cash them in for kind of like at the orthodontist where they give you points for brushing your teeth or something.
That's cool. Yeah. That's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
So what if I use my voice commands to tell my phone something? Does that count? Because I'm not sure I can make it through a trip in my car without talking to my phone.
I don't know if that's allowed. I haven't downloaded it because I've been the traffic's been so light. I've just been reading a book while I drive to work. There's no cars to run into, so figured we're okay.
That's a joke for anybody who can't tell. Just in case.
Yes.
I don't want to get an ugly email about that.
Again.
Right.
But so yeah, I honestly don't know if that's allowed or whatnot, but yeah, they've partnered with Shake Shack, Urban Outfitters, stuff like that.
That's neat.
Yeah.
So this is all about Ryan Frankel, like you said, who's the founder of this. And also he is a triathlete, but not just a triathlete. He's an Ironman triathlete. And, I think that's pretty dang cool, as we've talked about. So this whole article is about how he's training, because it's kind of difficult to train in the normal way that he was before. So he's had to change up his entire routine. And one of the things that he has done to change it up is get a Peloton. And I just think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's lots of stories like that at the moment of people that are like, I got a Peloton.
Yep.
Or lots of tweets from people that are like, okay, I caved.
Yes. Yeah. And I get it. It's yeah. When you think that you don't need it, it just seems like it'll always be there. And then whenever you have no other options, it becomes a lifesaver.
Yeah.
I know I've said this before. I just don't even know what I would do. I don't know. It would not be healthy.
For both of us. Mm-hmm. My health would be endangered.
Everyone's health. Everyone in my striking distance would be in health.
Well,
in danger.
It'll be interesting to see. We don't have the official article, but you were talking about it earlier about how locally Gold's Gym
is no longer going to be in the St. Louis area.
Closing every location in St. Louis. They're just done.
Yeah. And for those of you who may not have a lot of Gold's Gyms, just to put it in perspective, because this really shocked me when I saw the numbers, there's 24 Gold's Gym in all of the state of California, the entire state, but there's 9 in the St. Louis area.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty heavy populated Gold's Gym. And they've been around forever. Mm-hmm. I've lived here a long time now, and I cannot ever remember there not being a Gold's Gym.
Totally.
So that's a big one. for the St. Louis area. Anyway.
And I think if you ever worked out at Gold's Gym, if you ever had a trainer there, you should call them up and just really rub it in their face, because all the times that they were like, don't quit, keep pushing. Like, suck it, Gold's
You
Gym.
guys quit.
Who quit now? MFer.
That's not fair. Aw. It's too soon, Tom.
Sorry. But yeah, I thought that was like, whoa, that's...
I know, it's shocking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think gyms are going to go away, but I think you're going to see a lot fewer of them. I think a lot of these people that are buying this equipment, they're not going to go back.
Well, I have seen numerous articles and people posting about the fact that they can't even get regular free weights anywhere. You can't find them at Amazon. You can't find them on Craigslist. Like, they're nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
They're flying off the shelves faster than people can replenish the stock. So
I saw an article today, and it might have been on John Mill's page, and they said that a store, I don't know where, said that they got like 16,000 pounds worth of weights, and it was gone before like noon.
It's insane.
Yeah.
The numbers are just insane. So yeah, I mean, those people are not going to spend all that money and then keep going back to the gym, or it'll be a changed capacity. You know,
Right.
Something will be different. And so I think when the world gets back to normal, it's not going to look the same as it did for so many industries. And I think the fitness industry is a big one.
Yeah, I concur. I think because you're seeing Planet Fitness partnered with iFit to try and like, hey, we have online classes you can take now. Like, I think even they're trying to like kind of retool themselves for the at-home gym mentality, because they see the writing on the wall too.
Absolutely. I don't know of a gym chain that hasn't tried to switch it up in some way. You know, everything is about at home now. Everything. Right. I just think it's funny because all of these people completely dismissed Peloton when they first opened and they first started selling bikes. And now it's like everyone's just hopping on the bandwagon, and there's going to be varying degrees of success. And I realize that the current circumstances kind of push them into that.
It's an extreme moment in time in regards to this particular industry. But I would also say that I don't think the coronavirus has caused the workout at home craze. I think it's just accelerated.
I would completely agree with that. Because
it's just, the technology has gotten to the point that it's just too convenient. And I think as more and more people crunch the numbers, they're realizing that like, oh, like this is cheaper than the gym and way more convenient.
Yeah, there's tons of companies out there now. I mean, there's Tempo that has the similar thing. It's like a mirror, and then on the back of it, you can store your weights. And then there's also that new one that I can't remember the name of that like combines tonal and mirror and something else all together into one. Probably Tempo, I guess, would be the other one that it compares it to. And so it's got electromagnetic weights, and it does, but it's, my point being, it's just like all these connected fitness. And also, can you imagine trying to start a business like that now?
Yeah, like you are playing catch up in a big way.
Not just catch up, the world is in a complete crisis. Yeah. And even if you're going into a niche area that wasn't saturated a year ago and now is, like, people need to stop. It's out of control. But it's craziness. There's so much uncertainty. Like, I just can't even imagine personally trying to start a business like that now. Totally. That just sounds terrifying.
It does. And then GQ had an article about the best treadmills.
They did. And they mentioned different treadmills. It was basically a review about a whole bunch of different treadmills, starting with like best for your money. And it was a Woodway because, I mean, they're like the Rolls Royce of treadmills. But then right below it was the Peloton, and it's like running on a cloud. And it is like running on a cloud. Like, I don't like to run outside anymore. It has spoiled me.
Does that mean when it rains, it's sweat?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's gross. I'm going to stop singing in the rain.
Like you're ever outside long enough to sing in the rain. You can't fool me.
So it's like running on a cloud. They were big fans.
Yeah, they were huge fans. And they named some other treadmills too. But
who cares?
Yeah, whatevs.
Screw those other treadmills.
Yeah, I don't care. If you guys want to read about it, get the newsletter.
Right. There you go. Problem solved. So Tunde did an Instagram live the other day.
Yeah.
And she had a special guest.
She did. Technically, she was a special guest on Venus Williams'
Instagram.
Instagram.
It's the other way around.
It was the other way
How
around.
about that?
And Venus Williams was actually interviewing her. They did like a little Q&A for a few, I would say like 10 or 15 minutes before they started the actual workout. So I guess Venus Williams has her own brand, and I think it's called 11 by Venus or Venus by 11. It's something like that.
Okay.
And forgive me, I think she's amazing, but I don't follow every single thing like that. But of course, if you had Tunde, now I'm in.
Now you're paying attention.
Now I'm paying attention. So yeah, she had Tunde on, and so they talked about all kinds of different stuff. A lot of the stuff that you can hear on Tunde's interview that she had with us, it was a lot about her background and how she got into fitness and things like that, which we covered in our interview. So if you miss this, you'll still be able to see it in our interview or hear it in our interview. But also, Tunde did a 15-minute arm workout with her. And I mean, it's two of the ladies with like the most badass arms on the planet. So that's kind of mean going in. But like, I did not know 15 minutes could last that long. There were triceps for days, y'all. Days. Like it just went on and on and on. Like no wonder Tunde has the arm she has, because if that's what she does in her apartment, yeah, I mean, I should do that too. I should just sit and watch TV and do nothing but arm workouts.
Well, I think Tunde would want you to leave at some point, don't you? I just
in my own house,
because that would also violate the quarantine. We don't want to endanger her.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't.
You got to think this stuff through, honey.
But my God, it was a tough workout. Whew. It was really cool to see, though. And there were tons of people online. Like, I think at one point there were like almost 1,000 people watching live, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot for something like Instagram Live. That seems like, and it's very much in the moment. Like, you know, like you just stumble across it. It's not like it's a television show or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
Very cool. Also, can I just say that
it's your show, so yeah.
Well, I just wanted to point out that like if you guys have been paying attention to any of the Instagram lives by the instructors or stuff that they've done like with Good Morning America or like this one, there's a lot of really weird people that pop onto this stuff. And I've been very sheltered by the Peloton community. And I am shocked by the number of people that hop on and like try to flirt with them while they're doing a workout. I'm like, what do you think is happening right now? Do you think they're like going to stop and come over and read the screen because you were like, you're so hot? And then like, what do they think is going to happen? Like, what is the point of that? Like, what are they trying to do?
I don't know.
And then there's
the same thing like in the old days when like guys were like, maybe it's not, maybe they still happens, I don't know, but when guys were like catcall girls on the street, it's just like,
I think that's still I don't think that will ever end, but like that's kind of for their friends, and so maybe that's what this is too. Maybe that's just like these people are so starved for attention that in a completely random environment where no one else, it's good to stand out by being a douchebag. I don't even know.
Does anybody even engage with that?
I didn't see anybody engage with them. Everyone ignored it. Every time I've seen it, everyone has ignored it. Like I see it fly by. Like it's the same. It's always the same person who does it over and over and over again, like spam. And you're just like, is there something wrong with you?
It's always something that they think sounds nice, but is like really like, hey, pretty lady.
It's something like that, yeah.
I think anytime you're referring to someone as lady, like that's never.
No, I think women can do that.
I'm talking about guys. Like anytime you're like, if you're gonna say lady, you've
already crossed the line.
You better be Lionel Richie or Dennis DeYoung. Glenn Chirac from Little River Band for our yacht rock fans. Though they're allowed, but
that's it.
That's
very small window.
I would say Kenny Rogers, but no more.
Well,
you know. So, well, I mean, it's, you know.
I know.
You can't say it.
I know. I just got sad.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything is like, hey, lady. No.
Well, I know it was a tangent.
And it always sounds like that in my head, too, lady.
But I actually get distracted because I'm like trying to watch the workout. And then I'm like, how many times is this dork going to do this? Like, how many times are they going to keep trying to get the attention of the person who's doing? So then I sit there and count. And then I've lost count of how many reps I'm supposed to be doing because I'm watching this idiot.
Just instead do a rep for each time he says that. You'll have Tunde arms in no time.
Good plan, Tom.
Yeah.
Good plan.
I'm putting a positive spin on it.
Maybe I should start engaging with these people and just be like, hey, what's up, fella?
I don't think they would find that creepy.
Oh.
I don't think you can like jujitsu that.
No.
Like no.
Okay.
They're gonna be like, well, hello.
No.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Lady.
Ugh.
They're gonna say.
Ew.
They're gonna say.
I'm freaked out.
Hey there, new lady.
I'm skeeved.
Yeah. Right? I skeeved you out by saying that. And we're married.
I know. I
right?
like you.
Yeah. Like that's why I don't say that. No.
Oh, well, that was fun.
So the food bank for Chicago.
Yes, I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. I'm still laughing at our conversation, not the food bank of Chicago,
right.
just to be clear. And we talked about the fact that there was a group. It's actually Kelly Warner. There's a whole group of people that wanted to raise money for the Chicago Food Bank like Peloton did for the New York City Food Bank. And so they have a group all set up, and it's a Facebook group called Chicago Food Bank Rider. And you can go to it and you can set up a pledge so that any ride you do for the month of April, you can pledge to do $1 a class. I mean, you can pledge to do as much as you want, but my point is as little as $1 a class that you do in April, and all of that money will be going to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. They also have a fundraiser link that you can go to as well. Both of those will be included in the newsletter. Just kind of a cool thing. So if you're like, hey, who can I help? You know, I don't know who. I want to give money. I want to help people. I have extra. Not everybody's in that position right now, and
Sure,
I get that.
absolutely.
So please, no pressure. But if you're in the position where you can and you want to, this might be a great option for you.
Awesome. So our tonal contest.
Ooh,
It's past the halfway point.
it is getting down to the wire.
It is. So this is what, week 6?
Yeah,
So there's only 2 weeks left after this because we're doing it for 8 weeks.
right.
So
I feel like we only have 2 weeks. I feel like it's this Friday and next Friday.
is that how it works?
And then like the first week in May,
Yeah.
like at the end of that week, we draw the drawing, right? Or we
did 8 weeks, and this will be week 6, and we just do. I don't know. I'm spinning. We're close to the end.
yeah,
That's what it comes down to.
that is. We either have 2 or 3 weeks left.
Yeah, and so you definitely need to go to theclipout.com/tonal, and we have a little doodad gadget thing there. You can enter. You got to answer a question. We make it pretty easy. It's not too
Yes.
terribly difficult.
Yes.
And some lucky listener is going to be walking away with a free tonal. And we've had tons of entries, but
Yes.
if you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, it's a fairly small pool of people.
Listen, guys, I did the math today. You have a very, very good chance of winning. I mean, I am shocked at the number of people not entering. I mean, we have had a lot of entries.
Yeah.
But when you think of what a huge prize this is,
Yeah,
it's a lot of people that haven't entered. Like,
Totally.
it's a pretty darn small pool.
yeah.
The chances are good. And the cool thing is, the only thing you have to do is answer that question. You can increase your chances
By doing other little very easy things like following Crystal on Instagram or finding Total on Facebook. And it's right there. You click. It's super simple. So if you haven't entered yet, each week there are new opportunities. Don't feel as if, oh, well, it's been going on. There's no way. No.
No.
And it does. And maybe we should stress this too. It doesn't cost anything.
Oh my God, no!
Like this isn't
it's completely free.
This isn't a raffle. It's a contest.
This is through the generosity of Tonal.
Absolutely.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
And so that's it. You pay nothing. You just go and spend 30 seconds of your time, and bada bing, bada boom, you might be a winner.
We've been watching The Sopranos, in case you can't tell.
Oh God, I did just do that, didn't
You
I?
did. You want to go to the Bing?
No. They make me very uncomfortable there.
I will say the directors on that show did such a great job whenever they did the strip club scenes of how unsexy it was.
Yeah.
For all the like nudity, it was so not sexy. Anyway, back to this.
Yes.
So you can win a free total. It doesn't cost you anything to enter except just a smidge of your time.
Yes. And I know that Tom said this, but I just want to clarify that there's a new question each week. So even if you've already entered, you can keep entering
Correct.
each week.
Yes. So maximize your chances to win.
Yes.
And
I'm so excited for everybody.
Heard Crystal rave about her tonal.
Yes.
And So anyway, drawing close to the end. So run by theclipout.com/tonal for your chance to win.
Yes.
So if you're listening to this on Friday, which would be April 17th, we're going to do a Zoom call that night.
Yes. Yes, we are. April 17th.
And we're going to do that at 7
Central,
8 Eastern, something else Pacific.
Right.
I don't know how to do the math on that.
It's 2 hours before 7, so it'd be 5 p.m. Pacific.
Okay. So, but
6 p.m. Mountain while we're at it.
I feel like I'm doing like old time television ads. This week on a very special episode of Charles in Charge.
So the Zoom call.
The Zoom call. Yeah, we've been doing these, and they've been fun, and it's also nice because I know since more and more people it's stay at home orders or shelter in place or whatever your neck of the woods is calling it. You're probably getting a little stir crazy and like to talk to other people. Actually, talk to other people.
Yeah,
and so it's a great way to just kind of hang out for a bit.
Yeah, so bring your Friday night drinks, bring your Friday night snacks, and hang out with us. And whether it's 5 minutes or an hour, doesn't matter to us. Yeah. You're not going to hurt our feelings. We got people dropping in, we got people dropping out. Totally. It's all good. Yeah. And we're gonna have a great time. And I want you to know the link will be posted shortly, so it'll be posted before you hear this. And just in case I forget to put it out there, the password is nuggets.
Why did we come up with that one?
Because Gina did it.
So Gina shares my love of nuggets.
Gina thinks your love of nuggets is hilarious.
Well, I also like tenders and fingers. I like all the various chicken. It
sounds weird when you start putting passwords in as tenders or just fingers. So we're going to stick with nuggets, Tom. Nuggets it is.
Okay. What about lady? We could combine it. Lady fingers.
That's better than where I thought you were going.
Lady nuggets?
Well, Gina, if you want to change it, go for it.
Save it for next week. You'll confuse people now. So, but
I just want to tell a little quick story about this. Hopefully Gina doesn't get mad at me for sharing this, but it's her business Zoom account, and they have told her she can share it with family and friends. Like, it's cool. She's not doing anything against the rules. But what she did not realize was that changing the password for this meeting meant that it changed the password for all meetings. So she had somebody email her and ask her for the password.
She had to tell them nuggets.
She did. Yeah, that was funny.
So if you're bored on Friday night, swing on by and say hi. We'd love to have you.
Yeah. And even if you just want to drop in. We have everybody introduce themselves at first.
Yes.
So if you walk in the middle of that, just give it a minute. We'll get to you.
Yeah. And if you don't want to introduce yourself, you don't have to. We got a couple people just lurking. Yeah. We think they were Echelon employees.
Yeah. They just stayed dark. No pictures.
No picture.
Now we might make fun of you.
Yeah, we will. We might mock you, but but no one will see your face turn red.
Right.
So there.
So you can do that.
That a new collection came out.
Oh my God.
What'd that cost us?
I mean, honey, to look nice is not free. So.
But you always look nice to me.
Aw, thanks. That's because I spend money. It was not cheap, but I did have referrals and I did use them. And then there was a lot of stuff that I needed to get because it was the new spring collection and it was pretty.
If you say so.
Mm-hmm. Also, you can blame it on the You Get To crew, but I also had to buy the new Carbon 38 outfit that was out, the white with the gold snakeskin. So that is all their fault, But it was on sale and it was 20% discount. And you could also blame them for that because I wouldn't have bought it without the discount.
Oh, I was like, they got you a discount?
No, they just had one, which I used and it was great.
So, and then I see that the Prophet has a prediction about another collection.
Yes. No details on when this collection will drop, but it appears that it will be a collaboration with Adidas soon in the coming months.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess everyone has that to look forward to then.
Definitely.
Don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Checking in with the Peloton community.
So joining us today via the magic of Skypeophone is Brendan Dunn. Hey, Brendan, how's it going?
I'm well, Tom and Crystal. How are you?
Good. We're so excited for this interview and the opportunity to talk to you. And I don't know if you've ever had a chance to listen to the podcast on a regular basis, but I always start with the question, how did you originally find Peloton?
It's a great question. I've been familiar with Peloton for a few years, but Tom, I really want you to take note here and listen. As any wise married man would say, it was all my wife's doing.
It was.
Yeah, it was. So she had been in spin class for a couple of years, and I had dabbled in biking a while back. And she had hinted that maybe she wanted this as a Christmas present, so she wouldn't have to go to this, spin gyms and things like that. So I decided for my health and for what she wanted, it'd be a perfect Christmas present. So I got that for her and I this Christmas of 2019.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and getting your wife what she wants for Christmas, in this case, it helps your health on 2 levels.
Absolutely. Happy wife, happy life.
That's right. Okay, so fairly recent. You're pretty new to the Peloton community. And can you give us a little background on where you were in your fitness life? Were you super fit? Were you not fit at all? Had you been fit before? Tell us about that.
Sure. I was absolutely in the worst shape of my life. I was reasonably fit growing up. I was a high school athlete. I played soccer and baseball, ran a lot, but I never had good eating habits. So as soon as high school ended, the pounds just started pouring on. Got through college, probably weighed about 260 most of my 20s. And then when I got to about 28 years old, I realized I needed to make a change. I lost about 70 pounds.
Nice.
Wow.
Thank you. And I kept it off for about a year or so.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great time in my life. But then I remembered something that I'm sure, Tom, you're very familiar with. You know what that is? It's that beer and pizza tastes a lot better than water and strawberries.
True that.
That is so true.
I've always been so grateful, so grateful that I don't like the taste of beer.
Yeah, you would be in severe trouble.
Yeah, it's bad enough the way I eat, but man, if I liked beer, it'd be game over.
It would be game over. So the beer and the pizza called you back.
Yeah, they did. And I fell off the wagon hard. I've always eaten like a 5-year-old. I eat chicken fingers, pizza, hamburgers. So just garbage, and more garbage. I used to eat Pringles for breakfast half the time. If it wasn't Pringles, it was donuts. Yeah, so it was just garbage.
You should crumple up Pringles and sprinkle them on your... Oh, I shouldn't be giving you these ideas.
Jeez, Tom.
I'm sorry. It's a fitness podcast. I thought it was a fatness podcast. I have a secret fatness podcast that I do without you.
Where you can just talk about ways to enjoy your food.
Right.
Okay. Well, no, that's not what we're doing here. But all of those foods are delicious.
They are.
Just to be fair.
They are. And I'll still have them once in a while, but right now I'm in a good place. But where I was around Christmas time was my worst health-wise. I was about 273 pounds, couldn't walk up the stairs without being winded, couldn't bend over and tie my shoes without being winded as well, could barely pick up my kids, couldn't run outside with them, couldn't get down on the floor. I was in a very, very bad place.
It sounds like the uncomfortableness of not being fit. Like there's overweight and then there's uncomfortable overweight. And that seems to be a trigger for a lot of people. Yeah. Like, okay, it's time for me to do something about this.
Yeah, it's funny that the few times that I've lost weight or tried to lose weight, I've always, I didn't weigh myself, but every time I did kind of put my stake in the ground to start a diet or a health plan, I always weighed about 265 every time.
Interesting.
So I kind of, where your body is, and I just felt awful about it. This time I was even my heaviest, 273, so I knew it was time for a change.
Yeah, I think there's probably something almost like, for lack of a better word, magical about as you start creeping up towards 300 that you got to be like, I got to rein this in.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of almost, it feels like a point of no return.
Yeah.
At least it did for me.
Yeah.
Right. You're speaking from experience.
Yeah, the most I weighed, I got close to 260, and I'm like 4'9". No, I'm like 5'6", 5'7" in heels, and so like that's a lot of weight. That's
it is.
It's great if you can find a woman who has like a Jason Alexander fetish or something, but
when. But when anybody's uncomfortable, I just feel like there's like, oh, I have to buy bigger clothes. And then there's, I can't do something I wanted to do.
Right.
And it's like, sometimes that can be this moment of, I would like to change this now. It can be enough of a factor.
It's your epiphany.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had two of those moments last year. I was at Sesame Place with my 4-year-old, and I got on the ride, and the bar barely closed over me. I had to really suck it in almost to the point where I couldn't breathe. Yeah. And the seatbelt on an airplane barely reaches, so I'm like, this has to stop. So I set January 1st with my Peloton as my date to make changes.
I had that moment when I went to California for work.
You made a date with Peloton?
No, the seatbelt on the plane wasn't like.
You couldn't pull it.
It was barely fitting. And then I realized I was sitting on it. But I had a moment of panic. I'm like, but I've been good.
You were like, wait.
What's happening?
Yeah, it's the worst when you think you've been losing and then you're like, wait. Yeah. So did the Peloton, when you got it, was that like inspirational to you? Or were you just like, we got it. Let's try it out.
No, absolutely. At the beginning, for the first month, I was into it, probably doing 4 or 5 rides a week, slowly feeling good, gaining, power and strength and losing some weight too. I was eating healthier. Then early February came and I saw myself going into old habits, waning a little bit, only riding maybe once or twice a week. You can actually go check my history later. I'll give you my ID. Okay. But you can just see I was doing 1 a week just to keep my week streak going, which is sad. And then I was still eating okay, but falling into some bad habits, having a pizza on the weekend, slowly creeping back into that old lifestyle. So Peloton at first was an inspiration, but then my old ways came back.
It's so difficult, like when you're being good and you take a little break, it's so easy to let a cheat day turn into like, a cheat weekend.
It is.
And then you come home on Monday and you're in a hurry and you're just like, you know what? I mean, it's already been 2 days of this. What's one more? Next thing you know, it's back to the weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
It's so easy to do. It's so easy. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, next thing you know, I went from 190 pounds back up to 273. So it's absolutely my story.
So then fast forward to this Humans of New York page. How did that come to be? How did you find out a way to do that?
Yeah, it was by chance and circumstance. I was waiting for a train in Grand Central Station in New York, just on my phone, minding my business. And Brandon Stanton, who runs the page, came up to me. And I'm surprised he did, because I've been told I have a world-class resting bitch face. So why anybody would ever approach me is beyond me. But he came up to me, and as a New Yorker, I was skeptical because I figured, it's somebody asking for money. I had a crooked eye. And he said, I'm a forward journalist. This is my page. And he had his phone out. And of course I knew it. I've been following his page for years. And he then, asked if he could interview me. I said, absolutely. And his first question was, what's your biggest fear? And I immediately answered my morbid obesity, which he was kind of taken back by. He didn't think I looked. He said, I don't think you're morbidly obese, but I told him my doctor would disagree with that. And then we had probably about a 45-minute discussion about, what it means to me to be obese and my fears about it. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the page and the story, the gist is that I was worried that I would die at an early age because of my health issues and I wouldn't be there for my kids. I have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, 2 boys, and that I wouldn't be able to be there for them growing up, support them, and be everything that they need. So I was in a bad place and falling back into old bad habits, even though I had a good start with Peloton.
Well, so he stood there and talked to you on the street for 45 minutes?
Yeah, right in the middle of Grand Central for 45 minutes.
Wow.
I also, I haven't seen your face, but I'm like, a resting bitch face in New York. Like, the threshold has... It's got to be a lot higher. Like, if it's like resting bitch face, the threshold for resting bitch face in New York has to be much, much higher. Like, if you have resting bitch face in Ontario, that's,
Yeah. So that's what you're dealing with. I mean, I look like somebody would, cross the street if you saw me coming at you, but I'm really a nice guy. But, I'm surprised he talked to me. It was...
You must have looked especially cuddly that day.
Well, that's the upside of being overweight. Everyone thinks we're jolly.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay. Well, I know that maybe not everyone's had a chance to read it, but I know that the response ended up being pretty overwhelming. But did you know that going in, that it was going to be like that? What did you expect? What did you think would happen?
Yeah, I've been familiar with this page. I think the page so far, my post has, 232,000 likes on Instagram and Facebook together.
Oh, wow.
But, I was a bit nervous because even though I know it was overwhelmingly a positive site, I was just, worried for myself that it'd bring attention to my family, or you'd see like, oh, you're fat, you're lazy, sell the Peloton, get over yourself. But the response was very positive. I don't think I looked at the comments because I was afraid till the next morning. It came on a Sunday night. But I was kind of worried for my family too, if my wife would approve of it. Because like we said, married men, you have to get your wife's approval. But she was, my family, my wife, my family was very, very positive about it. And my friends and everybody's been very upbeat about it.
Well, that's cool that people were nice about it, but I guess like that page is pretty uplifting, so it probably weeds out a lot of the douchebags.
I hope so.
Absolutely. I think they have 8 million subscribers to that page. So just telling the stories of New Yorkers, and a lot of people can relate, I think, to my story especially.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely they can. I mean, who hasn't struggled with weight, with wanting to eat a certain way and not being able to? I mean, I don't know anybody ever that has not struggled with those things. It's just varying degrees in which they have struggled.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Tom.
Oh, so have there been any responses that really like stick out to you?
Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking about that, and the one that stuck out the most to me, and there are several of them. It's just what we talked about: the I can relate. This is me. Don't feel bad for yourself. I'm in the same boat as you. And that really inspired me to really, get back on the Peloton, get my mind straight, and really overcome some of my health issues.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I heard that you were adopted by the XXL tribe.
Yes.
Tell us about that. How did that come to be?
Well, because like any good millennial, my wife and I spend way too much time on our phones.
Absolutely.
And within probably an hour of that post hitting, since my wife knows everybody, somebody in the XXL tribe tagged my wife because they know her. And they said, we have to, tell your husband, get in here. So I was in the XXL tribe within probably 2 hours of the post hitting.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's been life-changing, that group. They say it's the nicest place on the internet, and it's almost weird how nice it is in there. We talked about my resting bitch face. I'm from New York. I have a little bit of an edge to me. So I was a little skeptical, but these people are the nicest people on the earth. Within those first 2 hours, I had over 400, might even been more responses. I replied to everybody. And it's been a magic carpet ride with that group ever since I've been there.
So what do you think is, besides them being nice, I mean, why do you think that had such an effect on you and getting back on the Peloton?
Because a lot of them said that, I'm in the same boat as you. We can relate to you. I had to actually, it's a good question, because if I had never found the XXL tribe and I just went off of the Humans of New York page, I probably would have fallen back into where I was earlier. I would have got on the bike for a couple of weeks, thought I was in a good place, then gotten back to old habits. But nothing with my health would be where I am now without the XXL tribe. It's very inspirational. I had a quote, somebody commented today on one of my posts, we hunted you down so we could inspire you. Now you are inspiring all of us. I have an obsession with that group. I comment in there probably more than anybody. Tom, do you know on Facebook, that blue like thumb?
Oh yeah.
You ever use that?
Oh yeah.
Did you know that there's a red heart next to it?
Yes.
I didn't, but all I do now is click the red heart probably 500 times a day.
I'm very judicious about the hearts.
Oh my God, he is. He is stingy with that heart.
I am stingy with that heart.
I, on the other hand, am very giving with the heart.
Yes. I already gave mine to you. So I don't just go slathering it all over the internet like Pringles on a donut.
Yeah, I didn't know it existed either. But now, like I said, I comment on almost everybody's posts that I see. So what I've actually done is some people have reached out to me and said, hey, can you help me become accountable to myself? So I have private conversations with several people in that group to just follow up with them and see how they're doing each day. So for me, it's totally changed my outlook on everything. I like to think of myself as a born-again nice person. Because not that I wasn't nice before, but I was a little snarky in some places. I unfollowed all the bad pages in Facebook and got rid of all those bad conversations of people in my life. I've just been on a nice trip for the past 2 weeks, and nothing's going to change with that. So,
you know what I said about Peloton when I first got on the Facebook groups that were related to Peloton? I was like, this community has restored my faith in humanity.
Yeah, I mean, that's the perfect statement. I think Rochelle Martin, who runs XXL Tribe, I spoke with her a bunch of times, and I can't thank her enough for getting me in there. So I don't know. People probably think, oh, is this guy all right? He's commenting all the time. Some people probably think I'm annoying in there. But I have so many people that say, oh, thank you for being inspiring to me. I'll post my rides, try to get people out when I'm riding. And half the people are like, oh, great, I wasn't going to ride today. You inspired me to ride with you. So I just found it really life-changing, that group. If I have any advice for anybody, even if you're not in Peloton, just join that group, because you'll find inspiration everywhere. I have told people that. My friends are like, I don't have a Peloton. Why would I join a Peloton group? But it's the best thing that's happened to me in a long, long, long time.
That is really cool. I'm glad that that's had such an effect on you.
And if someone tells you you're annoying, they need to be careful, because you'll show them your active bitch face. You ain't seen nothing.
My favorite thing to do with that group is give the drive-by high five. So I'll sit there for, I don't know, my wife yelled at me to say, stop giving high fives. The kids are running around the house. But I mentioned to somebody, if Peloton would just hire me for 8 hours a day to sit there and give high fives, I would do it on rides. That's how much I enjoy, just inspiring people and, cheering them on. So it's been really life-changing experience for me.
Kenny Banya, is that how you say it? He's got some competition this year.
Is he the high five king of Peloton?
He is.
Yes, he is.
We interviewed him a few weeks ago. It's been a few episodes ago, but he was mentioned last year at the homecoming ceremony. He was called out for having the most high fives.
Yes, literally
ever.
has given the most high fives.
So yes, you have some competition.
I don't know if I'll beat him in the high fives, but I'll definitely probably going to win the most hearts given in the XXL Tribe Facebook page.
That's fair. That's fair.
And I'll take that.
So I have a question. How is your wife doing with the Peloton and all of this? What are her thoughts? Is she riding? Is she enjoying it?
She is. She's much stronger than me and stronger-willed than me. So she, when I gave up for a week or two there, she was still going strong. I was on a bender for a while. I just rode 10 days in a row. I took a day off yesterday because my legs felt like cement.
Yeah.
But my wife has been going strong with Peloton ever since she's gotten it. She loves it, and she's seeing the health benefits as well.
That's awesome, especially because you guys really haven't had it that long,
right? Right,
just a few months.
It helps her.
I have 30 rides in, and I'm down probably 27 pounds since the start of the year, so it's clearly working.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm so glad. And what does your wife think about your newfound relationships with the Peloton XXL Tribe? As I know, it can quickly take over your life.
Yeah.
I had noticed. And your house.
Yeah, it's like I said before, it's a bit of an obsession of mine. I like to tell her that I went from a normal, fat guy to a Z minus list celebrity fat guy in Peloton community. But I think so she's fine with it, but I'm a little worried myself. I think it's become a little bit of an obsession, but the people are worth it. Everybody in there has been so welcoming to me, and anything that I can do to help inspire them, a huge smile on my face. So I'm glad to do it.
Well, here's the thing. It is an obsession because I'm certainly obsessed with it, and it's been almost 4 years, but there's not a healthier obsession to be had. So if you're going to be obsessed with something,
it's the way to go.
Right.
I can't agree with you more. This makes no sense to me, but it makes all the sense in the world at the same time that this happened to me and I can really change my life. Like, if you would have known me 3 weeks ago, you'd be like, this is, I'm like I feel like I'm Tony Robbins trying to inspire people. It's a strange place for me to be in, but I'm loving it, and I'm loving helping people and myself get to where they need to be.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I know that you have found a lot of love within the XXL Tribe, and they are a wonderful tribe. But don't just because the OPP is scary, don't not, find other tribes too, because they find there's ways to increase the Peloton obsession, believe it or not. Like you're early in, but there are tons and tons of ways to increase that Peloton obsession.
Yeah, I'm in Dennis's Menaces, or Dennis Menace, whatever you call it. And I'm slowly, weaning myself onto that group. And I'm like, oh, God, do I need another obsession here? But you're right. It can get out of control. But it's a good place to be out of control in, I think.
Is Dennis your favorite instructor?
Well, as a father of two kids, we don't have favorites. Of course. I would say early on he is. I've ridden with most everybody, and I haven't had a bad instructor yet. They're all great. But I like Dennis's catchphrases or whatever he says. He has a million things he says. I love it. And I like his music taste too. So so far, he's been my favorite, I would say.
That's fabulous. Yeah, he is we did an interview with him, and I recommend that you go back and listen to it because he is a super intelligent, soulful guy. Like he and Tom had a whole conversation about books and movies. They got deep. Like it was a deep convo. And he is super, super interesting on a lot of levels. Very interesting instructor.
And that was episode 34.
Thank you.
Maybe I want to go find it.
Sorry, Tom, that I can't bring that super deep conversation today. But
well, I mean, yeah, he was deep and I was just along for the ride. Like, let's not kid ourselves.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying he is a super nice looking guy, and not all nice looking guys have the ability to carry on that intelligent of a conversation.
That's a good point. But what about Dennis?
Of course.
Yeah, right.
Oh, well, looks like there's a second resting bitch face on this podcast now.
I kept it to a minimum when he cut his hair. What do you want from me?
Did you not approve of his haircutting?
No, I did. I was just saying that, like, I didn't go on and on about it.
I think she approved of it a little more than she was letting on. That's what we're finding out.
I thought it was a good look for him. Good change.
Yeah, it was time for a change. I agree.
So what is your leaderboard name?
My leaderboard name is Stevie G96.
And how did you come up with that? It's
kind of strange. I think it's kind of fate, really. Stevie G is a reference to my favorite soccer player. I'm a soccer junkie, even though my body wouldn't tell you that. But he's was the captain of Liverpool in England. So Stevie G is an homage to him. In 96, there was a soccer disaster in the 80s where 96 people were crushed to death.
What?
So that's kind of Liverpool's number. They always respect the 96. But what I thought was kind of fate about it was I could have picked anything. I could have picked my kids' names, my favorite music. But Liverpool's motto is "You'll never walk alone," and that kind of really, I think, translates to the XXL tribe and the support that they've always showed me. And I don't feel like I'm walking alone any day when I'm with those guys. So kind of really tied in, I thought, to the group.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you have any advice for new people other than go viral?
It's funny, when I first started Peloton, I'm looking at the followers. I'm like, I'm not going to ever have any followers. I'll have maybe my wife, and that's it. Who would follow me?
That's changed.
Lo and behold, yeah. The advice that I would have for newbies is find your tribe. I mean, it's easy to say find the XXL tribe because they're outstanding. But like you said, there's a lot of good groups. I've dabbled with a few of them. Get in there, and when you're having a bad day, when you're struggling, lean on them to get you through that bad day. Because if I didn't find that tribe, there's no doubt that I would be riding once a week, maybe losing a little bit here and there, but I'd be back to my old eating habits. So if you can find people that can help push you and help motivate you and help inspire you, I think you'll be much better off in the Peloton community.
That's wonderful.
Absolutely.
It's very true.
So does your wife, does she like the new nice you, or some people, they get used to a certain thing?
No, totally. Yeah. Like I bought RBF and I got the nice guy. What happened? Yeah. Like totally. It's a fair question.
Well, I've always been nice to her.
Okay, good.
That's good at least.
I mean, he did buy her a Peloton.
That she asked for.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Resting bitch face is just like, here's Peloton, woman.
Pedal.
It's Christmas. You got to get your wife what she wants, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
But my nicest, it's funny. Some of my family members are like, well, are you going to tell these people, who you really are? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm a changed person. I literally overnight went from being a regular person to being the nicest person that you could meet anywhere. It's really, I find it bizarre because not that I wasn't nice, but now I'm like, I'm like a Richard Simmons crossed with Will Ferrell cheerleader. Like,
Here's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing you waking up in the morning and you have like one of those old-timey sleep caps on, and you throw open the window to your home, and there's a small English boy beneath the window. You're like, "You, sir, go fetch me a goose."
And
But a very lean goose.
Like, I'll give you a heart. Like if you do it, yeah, it's been strange.
Oh, I totally get it though. It really does change how you approach the world, because like now you want to spread this happiness, this joy you found. You want to share with people. Like, isn't it just amazing to you now? Aren't you just like, no, really, you need to get a Peloton. It's life changing. Like, don't you feel like you have to tell everyone that now?
I've absolutely told everyone that now. My friend has been debating whether to get a Peloton. He doesn't know if he can afford it. And I just started harassing his wife on Facebook. I'm like, have you done it yet? Have you done it yet? She's like, what are you talking about? So yeah, I'm, the biggest evangelist for this bike that I know. And I can't think of a better place to be right now than with Peloton and with the XXL tribe.
That's wonderful. So, how, I guess, people can find you on social media. Where can they find you?
Well, they can find me on the leaderboard, Stevie G96, obviously. I have a Facebook page. It's Brendan Dunn is my name. You can see the picture of Humans of New York as my profile picture. But that's kind of where I am social media-wise. But I encourage you to friend me on Peloton. Let's get out there and ride. And like I said before, I'll high-five anybody and everybody. I'm going for the number one high-five spot of the year. So get out there. I'll see you on the leaderboard, and let's improve together.
Love it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy and viral day to join us.
Well, thank
now
you so
it
much
sounds
for
like he's
having me.
sick.
Oh, that's true. It's not the coronavirus, just to be clear.
Yeah, no.
The other viral. Yes, thank you for doing this. This has been awesome, and people are going to be super excited to hear from you. You don't even know how many people sent me your story. Like, they were so thrilled to share what you were going through. You touched a lot of people in the community, so
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Thank you for having me on, and I think we'll see where I go from here. But it's been a wild ride so far, so thank you.
You're welcome. One more question: are you coming to Homecoming?
No. Not that I don't want to, but I'll be in Las Vegas for a bachelor party that weekend. But I think Rochelle had posted something about something in September. I don't know what that is, or I don't know if that's another homecoming, but I won't be there in May.
Okay. It's probably the XXL Tribe. HRI is probably what that is. Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to know, because I wanted to make sure we got to meet you if you were going to be there. So
yeah, if I ever go to one of those, which I probably will since I'm so local, I'll let you know via email or whatever.
Awesome.
So I look forward to meeting you guys too.
Great. All right. Well, thank you again, and you have a great evening.
Oh, do you want me to send over some pictures to you guys?
Yes, that would be fabulous. Some pictures would be great, because when we post the episode, we will also post a blog, and so it will be a transcript of this interview, and it will have like all of your pictures throughout the blog as well.
Okay. Do you have any idea when this will air?
I think it's the end of March right now. Well, wait, I think I'm in April now. It's the beginning of April. I'm going to have to get back to you on a specific date, because sometimes as we get closer, things change, and like last minute we'll move things around. So I don't want to promise you something, but that is what I'm thinking. It will be the beginning of April.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Cool. Awesome.
Thanks for your time, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, I guess that brings another episode to a close.
It does.
What, pray tell, do you have in store for people next week?
I'm so stoked. We are going to have Zach Honig on from The Points Guy. He is the editor at large for The Points Guy.
Awesome. So he will tell us about his love of Peloton.
Yes.
And give us all sorts of travel tips in this age of no traveling.
Yeah.
Maybe we didn't think this through.
Well, it's a crazy time.
It is a crazy time.
Back when we scheduled the interview, we didn't know this was going to still be happening.
It was just starting to ramp up.
Yeah.
So that's what everyone has to look forward to. Until then, where can they find you?
People can find me at facebook.com/Crystal D. O'Keefe. They can find me on Instagram or Twitter on the bike, and of course the tread at Clip Out Crystal. And you can find me on Twitter at Roger Kubert or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. You can find the show online at facebook.com/The Clip Out. While you're there, like the page, join the group. Wherever you're getting the show, be sure and subscribe so you never miss an episode, and sign up for the newsletter at theclipout.com. So
That's all of that. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep pedaling.
And running.
Clip in.